Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. So I have just come off of a very busy week, like insane week, and I had some aha moments, and I like to share them with you. Actually, I had a really big aha moment after my yoga practice this morning. I was, just taking it in after, cleaning the mat's very zen. As much as I never want to start my yoga practice because I know I have to do all the steps like cleaning it after and putting it away, I just afterwards I find myself happily cleaning it. So it's just really funny. We resist things that, it's really just a procrastination or we find some reason to not do something. Anyways, so I had this like moment and it was kind of became a mantra today. That's like, I'm grateful for this day because I was a little stressed this week and felt really overwhelmed. My kids just had a lot going on this week. It doesn't normally have this much stuff in it, but it just seemed that everything landed on this week. Like, for instance, today they had picture day and the Terry Fox run. So I had to make sure that they were dressed in clothes that they could also run in because both my kids don't want to change at school. Now, I usually let them do all the picking out of clothes anyways. However, yesterday was the only day that they actually got to relax. So I tried to actually help them out. Plus, they were helping me pack for their camping trip with Scouts this weekend. So I'm actually recording at a really weird time for me because I just kissed my kids and husband goodbye for the weekend. So I'm actually doing a little bit of work before I go relax, and I'm going to weave in some fun things for myself, but also some work. My office needs a little love. It needs a little dusting, a little decluttering and organizing. So do some stuff for me and do some stuff for just others and just spruce up my office a little bit. Anyways, and find some time to cuddle my kitties. Anyways, so I was feeling really overwhelmed, like even a little grumpy this morning. And I actually am going to share something else about that because I had some really cool things happen to me today. And I'm going to share that in another episode. But this one here was my mantra, like I am grateful for this day. Like I just felt centered and focused, going like, I get another day on this planet. I get to hang out with my kids and my husband. I get to create more experiences today. And then it got me really thinking about gratitude practices. And now I've never been one to really have a strong practice, gratitude practice, like as in this like really amazing, beautiful thing. Let me explain. So when people say, they write down things in their journal, for, like grateful things that they have, or they text a friend, like you can have a gratitude buddy. Like there's so much amazing things out there for gratitude. I don't do a lot of like physical looking things. Now I've tried and I've shared a lot of those tools here or in my community and things like that because they do work for some people. But right now, my life is I always find we go through transitions. And when we have children, those transitions are pretty clear a lot of the time. Like when maybe not all the time though. We're now like for me, the gray area where my kids aren't old enough that they can just go out on their own all the time, but they can walk home from school. They can do those things. Like they do have freedom and they can pack for their own camping trip. And normally they do all of it themselves, but this past week, because like, literally they've been going. Like they had 2 events. Like we normally don't do any of this because I'm very mindful of our time because my kids need downtime too. They literally went from school to an activity after school and then another activity. I didn't see them till 8:30 that night. Now they did come home briefly because just so I could say goodbye to them before leaving for their cross country run. But anyways, so it's just like just insane. So I've been trying to help them because like I see them in the morning going like, oh my goodness, this is why we're cutting back this year. So anyways, and I'll share more about that, but we just have to get to the end of November because we did make some commitments ahead of time. And then we'll be doing more family fun adventures and being on our own schedule instead of other people's, aside from school. Anyways, so I'm coming from this week of wowzers. Like seriously, I was a grumpiness. My kids were grumpy. Like they'd wake up and be like, "Mommy, I'm so tired." Like I just wanted to say, "Hey, stay home," but I'm like, like they're just, anyways. And then I was like, man, I could just use some time too. Like, and then I am very aware that because like we were going, I wasn't at my best as a parent either because we were constantly going. We didn't have a lot of break points. Now, thankfully, I have a really amazing husband who is able to drive my kids or our kids places as well. And he does that. Well, I've been taking these moments to actually record podcast episodes and doing different things for my business because I actually hit a creativity window right around when the kids get home from school. So I usually am like, oh, I just started my work day and then the kids are home. So now I've been kind of just really embracing these moments where I'm like, okay, cool. I get like a whole afternoon, evening to be by myself and work or whatever. And I actually went right through supper once. It was not good. They get home at 8:30. I'm like, guys, I didn't eat supper. So anyways, my kids keep me in pace and we make sure we eat at a reasonable hour normally. So that was me going, go, go, go. Now, I'm sharing this because it's not what I normally share and say, hey, take care of you, eat well, take time for you, eat on time, all that stuff. I'm sharing that I'm human and that it happened. And then this beautiful moment after my yoga practice today was like, right, I'm grateful for this day. It doesn't matter, that I was frustrated the day before or that I felt overwhelmed. Or that I woke up with like a sore jaw because I'm like, clearly I'm stressed. So that Matt and I were the bestest, like we had a good time, bestest friends today, where I was exactly what I needed. A nice little yoga practice and meditation practice there on the mat. It was so good. But was my whole week great? No, because there's days where I just didn't feel like getting onto my mat. So sometimes we get so busy that we don't pause and reflect on how grateful we are and even the things that are showing up in our life or the things that are good in our life. Like we don't have time to stop and smell those roses, right? We're just going. We don't even know that they're there. And it's not always necessarily finding the perfect gratitude practice. Like I was sharing earlier, I have a hard time with that because some days do flow well. And it's picking the things that I really need to feel good, like my yoga practice and meditating. And then I use tapping, EFT, emotional freedom technique on occasion to help me through things as well. And I'll journal and things like that. But my gratitude practice doesn't look like a lot of the things you might Google or look up if you look up a gratitude practice with journals and things like that. I've tried, like I said, but what I find is pockets of gratitude. So today I just like took in a minute of like all those beautiful moments I shared with my kids this week. As we grumpily went through our week, we did have some really beautiful moments. I also had a fun experience this week where I was working in my office and I look outside and there's a mama bear outside, a black bear outside my window. And I'm like, oh my goodness, so gorgeous. And then I get out and I'm like, okay, there's nothing outside. Like I just did a little mental check. Like the kids were at school. So I'm like, okay, they're not outside. The cats, well, actually the one was out on our deck. But anyways, up high. But I did like a little check. And I'm like, I better go check. And then I go and look out the window and it was a mama with 3 cubs. And it was just the most fun. And then I hear my husband down below, because he works down there, having quite the reaction to seeing the bears, because there's these big, beautiful doors downstairs. So he got a front row seat to this beautiful moment. And it's just having this like awe moment. And then a few minutes after all that went, I was laughing at my husband and his reaction, because he's seen bears, but like it's not the first time he saw a bear, but he was just not expecting it, because normally we don't see them in our neighborhood during the day. They like to come through our neighborhood at night, but because bears are getting ready for hibernation, they're up 22 hours a day eating. And I feel like because this mama has 3 cubs, she's working extra hard here. So anyways, so we were laughing and giggling about this whole thing. And then I come back into my office and sit back down, still chuckling to myself. And I look out and there's our family of deer. The 2 that were born near in our neighbor's yard this year. And then the mom, and I think maybe we call them the adolescents. They're the twin babies from last year. So we have this beautiful deer community. Now, some people don't love having this wildlife in their backyard. I absolutely love it. Our whole family does. We know not to interfere with them. We try to coexist with them. So we don't like go running out and seeing them close by or anything like that. I have had conversations with them through the window, like, please get out of my garden. And then they get out of the garden. But anyways, we have these beautiful moments. And I was like, even telling my husband, I'm like, who needs to go to the zoo when you have these beautiful creatures? So it's these little pockets of things to just pause and reflect and be like, oh my goodness, we live somewhere. We get to experience this. And it's these beautiful moments. And really figuring out like just how to lean into gratitude throughout the day. So if this is hard for you because you're, busy, one thing I'd recommend is setting an alarm and make sure, I would personally recommend like a fun alarm, like a song that's your favorite song, or something that's not like edgy and like reminding you that you have to wake up in the morning. I don't love alarm clocks and I don't like putting a timer on. My husband does it a lot as a reminder of like, oh, I need to get the kids up in 20 minutes or something like that. And he used to use the stove alarm. I'm like, can you please not? Like that, when I hear that, I think, hey, something has to get out of the oven. So I'm like, please use your phone alarm. And then this way too, if he's downstairs, like all of a sudden I don't have to run and turn it off. Anyways, so we use alarms, but for me personally, I don't love all the sounds. Like they are a little jarring to me personally. And because this is something that's supposed to bring like a loving feeling to you, I recommend picking something that makes you feel good. So if you have a nice song on there that you can use as an alarm, or just beautiful chimes or whatever makes you feel good. And you can even set an alarm. So every, hour or whatever feels right to you, you pick the time. But when you hear it, then you just take a moment and like maybe look out your window or just think about your day or what you're grateful for. Like every so often in a day, I'll just pause and look out my window and be like, oh, like the ocean, like just looking at the ocean and the mountains and just taking a minute. Or we still have beautiful hummingbird flowers growing out on our deck. And I just take a moment to just look at them. Or earlier today when my husband forgot the water bottles for the kids, had to call me to turn around. I'm sitting out on the deck and out our front porch actually, and just waiting for them. And a hummingbird flew over my head. And it's just beautiful. It's taking in these beautiful little moments. Now, maybe you don't have black bears roaming through your yard, or deer or hummingbirds just whizzing over your, like, buzz, like they sound like a big bug, some of them. It's so beautiful when you know it's not a big bug flying over your head. Seeing my husband's reaction with that was also funny. But it's other things that you have. Anything and everything and anything that you're grateful for. I remember like gratitude, and I've shared about this before, is gratitude helped me get through one of the darkest moments in my life where I was really depressed and just I barely felt like living. And I would just stare, like I would be brushing my teeth in the morning, getting ready for work and washing my face and, doing all the morning things. And I would just think about what I'm grateful for. And back then it literally was that I could see, that I had arms, that I could walk, like the basic of things, because I know not everybody can. And then I was grateful that I had a roof over my head, that my grandma took me in, so I had a place to live. So I could live in the city instead of out in the country with my parents, where like getting a job out that way was a little challenging. So anyways, just so I could live closer to where there was work. So I was just I was grateful for the little things. And sometimes that's what we need to focus on, the little things. So as much as I share about these beautiful moments that are popping up in my life, start with the little things. It could be as simple as the sun came out today. Like today was supposed to be, for us, it was, I think, 90% chance of rain, and it did rain in the morning, and it was cloudy a good chunk of the day. But as the afternoon came on, the sun came out in full bloom, and it was just like such a gorgeous, beautiful day. But sometimes people focus on the rain that happened earlier, like, oh, it rained today. It's focusing on the good in our lives. It's not always going to be good moments or full of peace all the time or all these calm, like not everything's going to be perfect and exactly how you planned it. It's the little nuggets of glitter, or like not even, is glitter nuggety? No. Anyways, little sparkles of glitter throughout our day. Or like little moments, little pockets of beautifulness that you can see. Like that experience with the mama bear was like, it was right on the right time. It's like my husband and I need a good little like moment. And like the cubs were just the cutest little things. There was a little one trying to catch up with the other ones. Anyways, we needed that moment. Now, we could have been like, oh man, our day was horrible, and we just kind of kept going with that. But we didn't. We paused and reflected. Because when you get busy, going, sometimes it's finding those little bits of sunlight in your day or little glitter. When you have glitter in the house, have you ever found like you'll find it later for years? Think about gratitude like that. You can find these moments long term. You just got to keep looking for it. So coming back to your gratitude practice, you got to do what feels right to you. Remember that. Everybody's life's different. Everybody's situation is different. And like I said before, like I wasn't surrounded by mountains, ocean, or wildlife like this before. I actually used my mirror and focused inward on like where I was. And then like the more you focus on gratitude, the more you get to see to be grateful for. And it's really, really contagious and really, really beautiful. And it's just so important to really just embrace who you are and your situation and what's going on in your life and what feels true to you. So finding little pockets of gratitude, like I said before. I encourage you to get playful and have fun with this too. You can make a game out of it. It's like I spy, things to be grateful for. Or whatever you want to call it. Again, it's all up to you. You have the control to either look for the beauty in things or not. Like I said before, I know tons of people that aren't happy with wildlife in their backyard. But again, I love it. And I honestly am like, well, they were here first. So I'm going to coexist with them and know, how to be in a community with bears and all the beautiful other wildlife that we share it with. Even to the point where my kids, like, they are so awesome that they encountered a cub on their way home from school one day and they knew exactly what to do. They clapped and they made themselves big and they were just calm. They were thankfully in a group of kids. So, it's power in numbers too. And the cub just went its own way, thankfully, because the mama bear had to be somewhere nearby. But they did it. So it's just these moments where I'm like, proud mama bear moment for me. Anyways, so it's these beautiful moments. But I see it as a beautiful thing. But again, like I've talked about this in another episode, so I won't mention it, but like it's your idea, it's being the optimist, right? Or like the glass half full. It's trying to find these moments because any situation can be not great. Well, okay, there's some situations I can think of that like no, it's really hard to find a fun moment in all the muck. And I'm going to I don't want to talk too much about it because I actually had another thing happen today and I'm going to share it in my next episode. So I don't want to bring it up in here. But anyways, there are situations in life that it's really hard to find the good. Like, you lose a loved one, a relationship ends, but even a relationship ending personally, like as much as it can be heartbreaking, and you don't see how anything can be good again, eventually it all comes out. But it can be hard to see things in the middle of a really difficult situation. So I'm not really talking about that right now. I'm talking about the busyness of life and trying to slow down enough to see the flowers growing, or smell the roses, or whatever it is. The rays of rainbow, like in the clouds after a rainy day and the sun comes out. Slow it down enough to see those things. And then just do a little gratitude moment there and take it in. And just remember, just to think about I am grateful for this day. It's a beautiful, beautiful mantra or affirmation. I am grateful for this day. And then you don't have to overwhelm yourself with what does tomorrow bring or what does the future in general bring. And you're not thinking about the past either, right? Where I could have really got lost in the crappy week. There was nights where I went to bed going, holy crap, I am exhausted and I am tired. And now I know why we're cutting our schedule down. But at the same time, I did find pockets of gratitude in there. So if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're as busy as I am, or maybe not even as busy, but you just feel like you're rushing from one thing to the next, and you can't really catch your breath, try to slow down enough just to check out your surroundings. And you can even just sit where you are and just look at things differently. So it's kind of taking yourself out of your position and just what would people see if they weren't living this every day? Just really slowing down and looking. Maybe it's staring at a plant in your house or anything really, the ceiling. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. But different things, just to kind of slow it down. Stare out your window and just slow it down. But anyways, remember, I am grateful for this day. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for you. I really, really am. Thank you so much for listening. If you feel like somebody else needs to hear this or wants to hear this or they just really benefit from it, please share the love. And again, I am so grateful for you being here. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now. Hello, it's Jody again. I'm just back quickly for a quick announcement. I have decided to do an Ask Me Anything podcast episode. So come join the conversation on loving me, myself, and life. Now, it's not going to be live. However, I am going to gather questions ahead of time and answer them for you. So if you have a question about self-love, personal growth, or just life in general, or maybe even have a personal question for me, this is your chance to deep dive into topics that matter to you. Seek advice or explore challenges that resonate with your personal experiences. So get something really, something right directed to you. I'm not going to share full names or locations or anything. I'm going to keep it all, so no one knows who you are, but you'll know who you are. And over the next month or so starting October 13th till November 30th, I will be gathering questions. Now, if you find this after November 30th, that's okay. Please send me your questions anyways, because if I get too many, I'll have to do this again. Not have to, but I want to. So send me your questions if you're like, oh man, I wish Jody would talk about this, or I wish I could hear about this. Please, please send me your questions because I want to do something for you. So please send me your questions today and let's explore the beauty of loving yourself and living authentically and creating a life you truly desire. So you just can go onto my website, jodymisiak.com, and go under contact and just fill out the form with your question. There'll be a link also with this description of this podcast episode. So please, please send away. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Bye for now.